morning, and welcome to Mobile World Congress and to Intel's press conference. It is a great pleasure to be here today and talk about the progress that Intel's making in not only mobility, but in what is certainly the direction of the computing and the communications industry, which is everything is connected and everything that's connected computes. And so you can imagine that for us, this is a very exciting evolution of the industry because as a computing company and a communications company, we think that we have a very unique position. You can see from our point of view, and what I'm going to talk about today is we have activities, products, and announcements in all of the areas of the end-to-end computing and communications industry. And we are one of the only companies that really looks at this and says, what do you have to do all the way from the data center outward to the device and back through the cloud? So there's been a lot of forecasts and a lot of talk, and I just want to give you a few data points of how we think about the world. We know that phones and tablets are going to be about 2.7 billion devices. We know that IoT and wearables are growing so much, you saw it in the video, that there'll be 50 billion connected computing somethings in the year 2020, and that all of those devices are generating data. And that data, which is estimated to be about 11.2 exabytes of data by 2017, all gets stored somewhere, passes over a network somewhere, and gets delivered to some device. And that's really how we think about what our opportunity space is for Intel, what the challenges are, and what our products are being optimized around. So let's talk about the connection between all of these devices. You can see that between all of them, they have something in common. And that commonality is IP networks. And most of the traffic, not all of it, but most of it is now becoming data. And that data traffic allows us, and the combination of virtualization technologies in the data center and now moving to the network, and certainly have arrived to many, many application areas, it allows us to treat several of the core workloads that go across the network as applications. And that's a core of how we think about what we need to do. We need to be able to optimize those application workloads and move them across the network and through and into the data center. So things like smart packet processing, network offloading, all the analytics that go with it, and of course, one of the most important pieces of infrastructure software, security. So today, we have products in all of these areas. You've heard us talk about them. What we've never really done, and I don't think we have explained as fully as we'd like to today this morning, and Herman and I will take your questions on this, is how all these products fit together end to end. From the device side, starting with Atom and some of the products we announced in the fall and at CES around the Internet of Things, like Quark and some of our development vehicles. We're going to talk about this morning some of our new developer programs around Edison, to our communications products, which Herman's going to update you on, our progress with LTE, through the network and into the data center. Tremendous amount of software activity has been going on at Intel over the course of the last decade. Many of those efforts are coming to fruition now. Our most recent effort, most discussed, is probably security because it was a significant investment. We're going to talk about where we're going with that. We have really some very focused news announcements for you this morning. I know you're getting the press release. You're going to have plenty of time to talk to Herman and I about this, but we have made significant advancements in our mobile computing, something many of you have written about, so I'm very happy to see you all here to get the update about how we're doing there. We have new product announcements today. We're also talking about how we're transforming the network. We made some small announcements yesterday. We have more of them this morning around partners and the progress we're making there. And then finally, what we're doing with security for mobile, as well as for the data center, and our developer programs to bring all of this together on Intel architecture. With that, I'm going to start off very quickly. We'll get right into the mobile topic with Herman and invite Herman up here to talk to you about our new solutions.
you. Thank you, René. I've already been introduced. A warm welcome from my side as well, so I can right away jump into the meta subject. So you may expect me to show this like this. Yes, this is actually a 22 nanometer full production silicon wafer. But I will not hold it up. Rather, I would just like to remind all of you the number of transistors that we can bring into 22 nanometer, and we are approaching already 14 nanometer. This is a backhaul. This is a spine of us that we can capitalize on. But today, I want to speak about a bit more. I want to speak about what you can expect out of this, what we can do with this. We can build application processors, we can build communication technology. No, we do even more. We do not even build only this. It is about complete platforms. Platforms that have those things that you need, those things that will be the theme of this conference. 64-bit, for example, or 4K, for example, imaging, graphics capabilities, advanced sensor capabilities, perceptual computing, advanced communication technology, or security, what René already mentioned, will come later. That is what we are speaking about. Platforms that can support multiple operating systems and platforms that can support multiple segments in the market. That is what it is about. And I want to let you know what our plans are for this year. We have been publicly speaking about that we want to grow the numbers of the devices that we ship by a factor of 4. And the background that we have for this is, of course, this will be multiple OS supporting. And we have a design in momentum. We are currently seeing line of sight to more than 78 tablet platforms, for example. Platforms that come in many SKUs, and platforms that span multiple operating systems, and platforms that can span all the segments in the market, from below $99 and going up to performance platforms beyond $400 system price points. We come with new developer tools to make the job easier for our customers, to make jobs easier for developers and apps developer. René will speak about this as well. And I will announce new partners. That is what you are all asking for. But before I come to this, let me span the arc of the tension a bit more. And today, we announce and launch Merrifield. We have spoken about this platform before, and we are now launching it. It's a platform for tablets and for smartphones. It has a dual-core, 64-bit Silvermont. It is designed to be superior in terms of energy efficiency, translating into long battery life. It has stellar graphics on it, and this platform is even smarter. It comes with an integrated sensor hub so that we can support the next generation of perceptual computing as well. Needless to say, it is optimized with the Intel communication platforms, 3G and LTE. And I also announce a sister platform, Moorfield. We have not spoken about this before. Moorfield is a quad-core sister platform of Merrifield. It's targeting the second half of the year. It's very easy for customers to switch between the two of them. Moorfield has 4 full-blown Silvermont 64-bit cores. So for everybody who has not enough of processing power, with already 2 of them, can have 4. More graphics capabilities and more platform features as well. These are the 2 platforms that we speak about today, predominantly. Let me go to one very important part. Some people say it is my pet feature, 64-bit. Intel is a 64-bit company. Silvermont cores are 64-bit. All the platforms we have are 64-bit. And you may have heard the announcement of HP. This device is a Windows 8.1 full 64-bit tablet. So we said we will be shipping this year, this quarter. HP announced it. And we pushed this envelope even further. When I speak about 64-bit, I also speak about Android. Our platforms are 64-bit ready. We have on Merrifield our Android 64-bit kernel running. So they are 64-bit ready. And today, I can give you one example and show you one example. This is the Merrifield on running 64-bit. That is the 64-bit kernel running on Merrifield. So we prepare the world and the ecosystem for advances, and we push the 64-bit adoption in mobile. And another goodie here is Moorfield already. So that is the quad-core sister product of Merrifield, Moorfield, also 64-bit Android kernel running on it. This is the portfolio that we are talking about. And with this, we prepare the world for an even richer, faster application processor experience. That is what we mean when we speak about look inside. Now let me change gears on you. Communication technology. And before we even go into the LTE discussion, this show will be a lot about LTE and Cat 4 and Cat 6 and Cat 7 and whatever. One thing to remind, we ship. You can come to the booth and see a lot of demos. We have public demos and we have some in the background. So please come and go to our press people and be invited to also look at the private demos that we have. And always keep in mind, wherever you go for a demo, we ship. That is the difference. We ship 7160 generation as of Q3 last year. We upgraded it to Cat 4, up to 150 megabit per second. It handles 15 3GPP bands. Of course, as all the platforms 3G before, it is ultra low power, and it's, needless to say, optimized for our platforms to play together with the application processors. And we are shifting gears. This year, 2014, 72 generation. Up to Cat 6, up to 300 megabit per second. You can see live demo on Ericsson network here in Barcelona. More than 30 bands that we can support. And again, low power optimized, low footprint optimized. This is what our customers like. And we are expanding customership. I will speak to this later. Let me remind you, 7260 is carrier aggregation, and it does all the flavors of carrier aggregation that are on VORC. 10 plus 10, 10 plus 20, 20 plus 20. Whatever you want, it is able to do this. It can support TDS-CDMA, it supports TD-LTE. Everything what we need for this market, this platform has it. It is currently in global certification. And always a candy of our platforms is the RF transceiver. It's a single chip multimode RF on it that can support a high number of carrier aggregation combinations in one SKU. It comes with new power efficiency features, and it supports seamless FDD, TDD switching. Needless to say, it will be completely Release 10 compliant. And we are expanding our customership. These customers on the left side, OEMs, we have agreement and approval that we can speak about, that they are going to use our 71 generation as well the 72 generation of LTE. So you were asking, which are the customers next to come? These are the customers we can speak about. And we continue to add customers. And for modules, we have 3 partners also already. We are working with Huawei, Sierra Wireless, and Telit for modules. Where do modules go? Modules, of course, go into tablets that are prepared for LTE and don't have it soldered on board. Modules also go into 2-in-1s or go into our high-end ultrabooks. But modules also go into machine-to-machine, Internet of Things. We have all of this in our portfolio. And this leaves me with my next level. And let me level this up. Let me speak about what kind of partnerships on platform level we are pursuing. I heard many people saying, what is coming after the Lenovo K900? And I tell you what is coming. We have engaged with our customers on complete partnerships, not aiming for point designs anymore and running after this or that SKU. Rather, what we are aiming for is a complete multi-year partnership. And I have the pleasure that I can announce a few of them today. ASUS, for example, has a complete lineup of our platforms that spans from Clovertrail Plus over Merrifield, Moorfield, Bay Trail into the future, uses 3G and LTE technology in all combinations. And I have an example here. This is the ASUS PhonePad, including our LTE 7160 generation. Another broad partnership to announce is Dell. Let me take this device. It comes out of this partnership. It's an Android tablet that we have supported Dell on building. And many more SKUs will come out of this partnership. And another partnership, Lenovo. I have an example here. It's a Windows device. Also, when I say partnership, then this means all the platforms we have, all market segments, and all combinations with 3G and LTE. So we are expanding our customer base, and we are growing in this market. And I have another one to announce. This is, we went into a partnership with Foxconn as well. High volume production, advanced tablets for this year, pushing the envelope also in this perspective. And there's other topics. Partnerships that we are building in the China tech ecosystem. Here are 2 examples. There is a plethora of customers and a very fast spinning ecosystem that can turn designs into shipping products very, very fast. And we have partnerships in that ecosystem as well. And last but not least, here's one nice partnership as well. With Fuhu and DreamWorks, we have built this device. This is a real kids tablet. And by the way, it's based on Bay Trail. That means it's a performance tablet. It's also good for parents if kids are gone to bed. And this brings me to my last slide. And then I will hand over to René again. What are we talking about today? We talk about two platforms, the launching Merrifield and the announcement of Moorfield. Merrifield dual-core and LTE, Moorfield quad-core and LTE advanced. And towards the end of the year, you will see integrated solutions from Intel. We call them Sophia 3G. In the beginning of next year, Sophia LTE. And also towards the end of the year, you will see Goldmont-based 14 nanometer next generation technology. Cherry Trail is the name of this platform. And in the middle of 2015, we will come with the Broxton platform aiming for hero devices, also based on 14 nanometer, 64-bit Goldmont Atom Core. And that is the portfolio that we have today, and that is what you can expect from us in the future. Thank you.
Well, the glamorous part is left to Herman. Thank you, Herman. I want to move now and talk about re-architecting the data center. Many of you know that Intel is a leader in the data center and certainly in server technology. And as we look forward to how all of these wonderful devices get connected, and as well as all of the PCs that we build, the next big piece of work for us that we've been working on for the last several years is the re-architecting of the network. Like we did with the data center years ago, we are working to bring our standard high volume technology, high performance technology to the network. And we have been working with several customers on concepts and trials for the last couple of years. And today I'd like to announce that those customers are moving into production. So what the transformation that we have been working on is really this migration from fixed function ASICs to a standard architecture base. And we see that a lot of the fixed function or more vertically integrated technologies are moving towards the Intel architecture for a variety of reasons, not only cost, but also performance, but more importantly for programmability and for reuse. And as I said, many of the workloads that have run in the network, not all of them, many of them will stay on ASICs, but some of the high volume ones, is certainly high performance IP packets and others, are moving into the virtual space. And you've heard a lot about that, and you're going to hear more about that at the show, which is the virtualization of network functions. All of that runs on Intel architecture. So as you hear all of these announcements, including the ones that I'm making this morning, you have to think about that as part of the expansion of where Intel is going beyond the servers, beyond the IT data center, beyond the cloud data center, into the network. And so what we've been doing is we've been working on a couple of different points. We've been working with network equipment manufacturers as well as with developers to move those workloads to basically become applications, virtualized applications on the network. So what I'd like to announce this morning is that we've been working on proof of concept trials for the last several years. Most of these customers that you can now see, the trialing customers, are moving to commercial solutions. We've been working for the last couple of years with OEMs, equipment manufacturers, developers, solution integrators, and we have over 45 partners that are now working in some way or form on network function virtualization and SDN. And as you can see from the slide, we have new commercial solutions coming from many, many of our partners. We announced yesterday with Alcatel-Lucent that they are going to be standardizing their activity on the Intel platform. We, of course, are very thrilled about that. So in addition to the cloud band work that they're doing, they're also doing cloud radio access networks with us and working on future workload migration. Today, we're announcing that we're also in a partnership with Cisco, and they are deploying network function virtualization platforms on top of the Intel architecture as well. So in addition to Alcatel-Lucent and Cisco, we've also been working with those that are on the side. Many of these customers have their own announcements in this space, so I'll leave that to them. What I would say is that we have a very strong commitment to this space. We've been working very hard to do architecture work in our platforms to ensure that we have the right performance for real-time workloads and for network performance on our standard servers. So the way to think about that is we find something and we make sure that as we build future versions of Xeon, we know that they're going to be able to do that particular function very well. In addition to re-architecting the network, which is a very, very big effort, and I can't emphasize how big of a deal this is because it's a tremendous undertaking for the equipment suppliers as well as the communication companies, but it really does change everything. It allows you to move into data networks that become very flexible and can be reconfigured for different workloads. It allows you to really restructure the cost of your infrastructure. The other big piece that goes along with that, however, is of course security. So the other big investment vector that Intel's been on for the last 3 years, plus on the software side, has been security. For over a decade in our hardware, we've been putting in security features, both in the enterprise as well as in the device. This morning, what we're announcing is that a follow-on to our CES announcement that we are making our mobile security software efforts free, and that they're available. They're available via app stores and from some of our resellers. We have several new features in our mobile security, one of which is device protection for Android that really works in conjunction with the mobile software from the McAfee service that blocks malware and other attacks on your Android devices. We have several new partnerships around our mobile management technology, one with AirWatch, Citrix, and other partners that are being announced at RSA this week, which is going on in parallel, so there's several other announcements there. And I'm very pleased to announce that Dell will be our first customer that will be deploying the Intel protection technology with the McAfee service across all of their mobile devices. At the end of all of this, I told you that one of the things that's very unique about Intel is that we can build solutions for end-to-end, from the device through the network, and we are moving over the course of the next 3 to 5 years to the network running on Intel. The data center runs on Intel today, the cloud runs on Intel today, and securing across that entire spectrum. But the most important piece of us realizing this connected computing environment that we see is developers. And so as you know, that one of the most unique things about Intel is that we have a tremendous developer program, one that we've had for nearly 2 decades, that works in various segments of the community to bring applications and to bring technologies to our platform. So today, I'm announcing a new developer program for Android developers. The Android Developer Tools program is really about helping Android developers to build native applications on Intel platforms. That will be launched with a new release of the Intel System Studio, which is a set of tools for embedded and mobile developers for the Internet of Things, as well as mobile devices. And we will also be releasing a new HTML5 toolkit for acceleration. The other big piece of what we talked about at CES is the Internet of Things, and what we're doing with our Quark activities and what we're doing with our proliferation of the Internet of Things and smarter devices. So today we're announcing our first developer toolkit for the Internet of Things. That's for students, hobbyists, entrepreneurial developers, and professional developers, quite honestly. We will be doing as we have done with every other program we've had. There will be tools, there will be developer kits, including the Galileo boards that we've talked about for building full projects, and we will be running, as we often do, hackathons and contests. We will be having a new one that our global programs always have big prizes. So our IoT Global Hackathon, the first prize is actually $1 million prize, which I'm sure whomever wins that will be happy. So with that, what I'd like to summarize is that, we are excited about where Intel is at this point. We've been coming to this show for several years. There's been a lot of skepticism about Intel and mobility. I think you heard this morning from Herman, we've made tremendous progress. not only in the core of what people at this show think about a lot, which is devices, and in the applications platform and the communications platform, we are second to none. We are absolutely now world-class in mobile solutions. In addition to that, we've worked very, very hard to become a predominant player in the infrastructure piece of the business and the network, which is critical to connectivity. And of course, on the cloud and data center side, it's been the core of our business for a long time. I think Intel is well positioned to have a fantastic future and growth around what we see as the next wave of computing, which is connected computing. And with that, I'd like to invite Herman back up.